Did you know that according to the Akan, every person who dies does not become an ancestor? Everyone climbs the ladder of death, but they do not automatically advance into ancestorhood. So what happens to those who don't become ancestors? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, so stay tuned. Hello, family and friends. This is Nana Kosia from Koramamure, where we highlight and discuss different cultures and traditions from Ghana. Before we discuss how one becomes an ancestor, we first must review what spirit is and how it functions. The spirit is called Sunsum. Sunsum is a vital source of energy that comes from Otomankoma. It activates and animates the body. It is the aspect of a person that is able to leave and return to the body, especially during sleep. It serves as a vessel for dreams and psychic experiences. It is teachable and responsible for character, temperament, and intelligence. It can be strong, weak, good, or wicked. When it is weak, it can be easily attacked by witches and evil forces. When it is strong, the Akan say, Ne sunsum yedru, meaning her or his spirit is heavy or weighty, or she or he is bold, brave, courageous. Furthermore, when a person is said to be a witch or a wizard, it is through the power of their sunsum that they are able to harm others. The Akan assert that a complete being consists of a body, a soul, and a spirit. When a person dies, their body is buried in the earth, their soul returns to Otomankoma, and their spirit becomes a ghost, which the Akan call Samain. Simply put, a ghost is a spirit that is no longer activating and animating a body. Now let's review the main types of ghosts that exist and which type can become an ancestor, which is called Nananom in Samain 4 in Akan. Asamain Chuen Chuen. Asamain Chuen Chuen means ghosts that are waiting. As human beings, they died early in life and did not fulfill their fate or nkrabia. As a result, they have to wait for either their predestined time of death or for the time when they can reincarnate through their own family lineage. These earthbound ghost vagrants hang out at crossroads or reside in abandoned houses. They are constantly looking for a way to live again so they can fulfill their fate. They are said to be sad because they bemoan the short life they lived. As they wait and linger, they reflect upon the major mistakes they made in life that most likely resulted in their premature death. These type of ghosts do not become Nananom in Saman 4. Asamaim Bone. Asamaim Bone are lingering, evil, and wicked ghosts. As human beings, they committed the worst atrocities and offenses. They were criminals, murderers, thieves, rapists, and violent people who showed complete disregard for the lives of others. These type of ghosts are angry, aggressive, and vengeful. They wander in the land of the living, haunting and disturbing people and causing all types of problems. These type of ghosts can never become Nananom in Saman 4. Atofo. Atofo are lingering ghosts of people who died an unnatural death. Unnatural deaths are sudden and unexpected and sometimes violent. Some examples are suicide, drowning, vehicle crashes, being struck by lightning, being bit by a snake, and maternal mortality during pregnancy or childbirth. It is believed that unnatural deaths are caused by witches and evil forces, and in many cases, the ancestors who punish for wrongdoings and breaching taboos. Atofo do not become Nananom in Saman 4. It must be noted that in Akan society, suicide is considered a cultural transgression and is seen as dirty, polluting, and defiling. After a suicide occurs, traditional leaders must perform rituals to appease the divinities and ancestors who are connected to the land and community. This is not only for the purpose of avoiding retribution from the divinities and ancestors, but also to cleanse the land and community of defilement. If the rituals are not done, the community could experience drought, premature deaths, failed crops, pestilence, community violence, political unrest, and many other forms of misfortune and calamity. People who lived a good life and died a natural death, but were given an improper burial after dying, can also be troublesome ghosts. Mensa Adinkra states in his article titled Representations of Mortuary Beliefs and Practices in Akan Literary Works, a focus on Edwin Ifas Forestier. Among the Akan, this act of an aggrieved, deceased spirit returning to cause the death, illness, or the infliction of other forms of retributive punishment on living relatives is called Samaintoa. To avoid Samaintoa, close attention is given to assure that a deceased person's funeral is done properly, especially if they were deserving of a befitting one. The way a person lived and died determines how a funeral will be conducted and observed. Asamaimpa. Asamaimpa are ghosts who are good. As people, they met the criteria of a good life. They lived exemplary, were morally clean, and exhibited good characters such as being hardworking, kind, loving, respectful, merciful, and a keeper of promises. They continued their bloodline. Traditionally, members of Akan society were encouraged to marry and bear as many children as possible. Doing so guaranteed an opportunity for the already existing ancestors of the family to reincarnate and work at fulfilling a new fate. It also built family, which is the first institution of learning. They lived long. Elderhood is a phase of life that is highly valued. In most cases, one must become an elder before she or he can become an ancestor. This assures that the person has acquired wisdom through experience while living and can effectively counsel her or his descendants as an ancestor, just as they counseled them while living as an elder. They died a natural death related to old age or died in their sleep. In Akan tradition, a person must not suffer and die from diseases that are considered to be unclean, like leprosy, epilepsy, or madness. Much like unnatural deaths, unclean diseases are considered to be the result of curses by witches and evil spirits, or punishment by the divinities and or ancestors for immoral behavior, breaking taboos, or even neglecting one's customary duty. It must be noted that the spirit of a person who was a warrior and died fighting for freedom, justice, and the lives of others is also considered a good ghost, although they probably died violently and in their younger years. Nananomin Samanfo. Nananomin Samanfo are good ghosts who have been elevated to ancestors. As people, they met the criteria of a good life and fulfilled their fate, or inkrabia. They completed their journey to the realm of the ancestors, or crossed the waters, as it is said, and are now allowed to exist with the ancestors. It is Nananomin Samanfo who are invoked in libation and who are asked to help the living. As ancestors, they are capable of intervening on the behalf of their descendants. They are remembered and honored with ritual acts of devotion and asked to protect, heal, guide, and bless their family. In every aspect of their existence, the Akan strive for merit. They work to live a good life and delay the occurrence of death for as long as possible. They know that death is inevitable, but pray that it is also good. They even sing about it. Why? Because all are considered to be favorable and are the criteria for becoming Nananom in Samanfo. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a question for you. Have you ever seen a ghost before? If so, tell me about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.